I think this is good considering we're in a new studio.
Yeah, studio is the way to put it.
Our fourth one.
It's barely a studio apartment, let alone a studio.
Yeah. What is it? This is our third. What is it? Our third one? Might be our third.
Well, like
one.
technically the first two were like the same. There were some different floors. So like.
I'll say, wait, was it just Morgan?
I mean, are we counting my basement?
I feel like we can count your basement.
Okay, then this is the third one. Yeah.
Okay. This
Sure.
is the third. All right, sweet.
Sure.
I guess we're getting into it now, right? I guess we're.
I mean, I'd probably cut into it at this point.
I guess we're here. Yeah. All right.
You remember how to start this?
Not really, but I'm just gonna kind of go with it.
Yeah, go for it.
Hello and welcome to the Power Cycle Podcast. I am Jack Barron.
And I'm Mike Knowles.
And what episode is this?
It's been too long, man. And that's not a good thing to say.
It must be like...
I can look at it. Give me a minute.
I'm going to say it's 14. We did this last time.
I'm going to say it's 15.
I feel like I said it was 15 last time. So
it might be more than that. Well, I'll find out in a minute here if you want to keep vamping.
So I feel like we're on 15. But we're on our new, we're just talking about our new studio here.
Jesus Christ.
It's a bit different than the last one.
What a joke this place is.
We're still putting it together, as is the perks of being college students and basically not having a permanent address.
Oh, we're both wrong. It's 13.
13. Oh. Episode 13.
I thought you were right at first because it said there was 13 videos in the playlist already, but I forgot the intro is also its own video in the playlist.
I feel like we had this exact same conversation.
We probably did. Yeah.
But now we're going to
Feels great to know we haven't been consistent.
Oh, yeah. But now we're going to be more consistent. As people know, I'm away. We're apart during the summer.
And now we're still apart, but now we're also together.
Now we're together, though. But so now we're back. We're getting this together. So I think we're doing this today. We're doing some gameplay today. So like now we're kind of gameplay.
Well, not today when you guys see it.
Yeah,
but like
yes.
in this present time, it's... If America is war torn and radiating of nuclear waste,
yes.
It was a different time, a much better time. Temple won a football game somehow.
Yes,
it's a good time. Did the Eagles win today? I don't give a shit about the Eagles, but like I think they were winning last time I saw too.
I'm gonna say I barely follow our school sports, let alone.
They got a touchdown on offsides. Like they were like 3 yards from it. And, like, the other team got offsides, so they got automatic touchdown.
Is this our Temple?
No, this was Eagles.
Oh, Eagles did this. Okay.
I'm just saying that to me, that seems like a sign of the end times. So, like...
Well, yeah, so...
be ready.
For those who don't know, this is our sports podcast. We're going to talk about the Eagles most of the time.
American soccer. I mean football. I mean what?
But I'm just going to, like, hop right in. Destiny 2 came out.
Yeah, it did.
Fun fact.
Yeah, I'm in an anime opening. You guys may or may not have seen it already.
Yes, I did see that. And so I'm wondering, did you play Destiny 1?
I played the shit out of Destiny 1.
So you liked Destiny?
Oh, I love Destiny. I didn't get all the external content because like I came out and I'm still back at home and my internet was fucking shit. So I couldn't like experience that as much. And then like also I got like really busy like when like the good content came out, Taken King. So like I just didn't like get into that, but like all the base level content and or did I play Taken King? What was the first DLC? Whatever the first DLC was. No, I didn't play Taken King because I rebought the game because I lost my copy. I got my copy scratched and I rebought it with Taken King DLC in college and I played the Taken King DLC. But no, regardless, yeah, it's a great game. I'm not playing 2 because it's just such a time sink and I don't have that time right now.
Have you been following the shader controversy?
Oh, I've been following everything. I've been watching people play the game and stuff. Yeah, like so I'm not purchasing the game myself right now.
So how do you feel about Destiny 2 then? How are you?
Are we talking about the game or the shader?
Well, the game first, then we'll get into the whole.
The game seems great. It seems like Destiny 1 but better. Like it's all the things that people wanted out of Destiny 1 to be better. It seems like they actually took the time to develop a story? It was pretty good. I thought it was okay. I thought the best line in the whole story. We probably shouldn't spoil this. I'm not gonna say anything about that.
Okay.
But it seems good. It feels like my biggest issue is an issue that everyone's gonna have with it, or everyone is having. Like, hey, Jack, you can scooch in like a little bit.
Me?
You start leading to your center side. Yeah, you're good there. Awesome. I think the biggest problem is that like it seems like Bungie, or it's probably Activision actually. They don't know like they're pushing it to be like almost an esport. I feel like that's incorrect.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's messing with the PvE from what I'm hearing from players. And also, like, I don't know, but like the gameplay stuff is like that. Like apparently like, the multiplayer from what I've seen, what people like who I like trust their opinions of told me is it's very like Halo-esque like PvP.
Wasn't the first one very Halo-esque? Like, I mean, I got
it was, but this one is definitely feels apparently so. So the first Destiny apparently like if I were to equate the first Destiny PvP, we're not about PvP, we're just talking about PvP. It felt like a mix of Halo Combat Evolved meets Crackdown.
Okay.
Is like how I'd put it. And then this one apparently feels like Halo 3, like full on like Halo 3, Halo Reach, like multiplayer. Like we have our shooter down multiplayer.
Okay, I know me personally. I never got into that. I think Destiny was a game where I sat down and tried to play. I think probably 3 or 4 times.
By the way, Team Warlock, like Warlocks for life, and like if you're not a Warlock, like. I mean, just get out of here.
Was it
like,
was it
Titan and Hunter?
Hunter. I was a hunter.
You're a hunter? Like you didn't want to go Kamehameha? Like
no, I like the whole gunslinging like aspect of it. But when I was playing
wrong. Where's your weep card? Give me your weep card right now.
No,
give me your weep card.
Mine. But I just never got it. I don't know. I never got into any MMOs, which might be why.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it was a really nice blend, though. They really walked the line well. I can't say about Destiny 2. From an outside perspective, it feels like more MMO, but it feels like it's still walking that line right. But I can't obviously say. But I thought Destiny 1, they walked the line like really well.
I don't know. I just never got into the gameplay either. I was watching my roommate play Destiny 2, the beta, and it looked fun. I was like,
beta was so good. I played the shit out of the beta.
I think Destiny is it's a universe where like I read about it all the time because it's a cool universe. Like the universe is very fun.
That's funny. You actually read, which was the biggest problem with Destiny 1.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like some people were like, oh, it's a lot of reading or it's a lot of like lack thereof of story. You gotta go like find it. And I kind of was into it. Like I really liked that. I wanted to like Destiny. I really wanted to sit down and get into it because I just like the universe. I like everything about it.
I mean, it's Bungie. Like you know.
But like even when I was playing it, it felt, at least for the first one, I'm someone who like I can't play the same mission like over and over again, which is why I never got into MMOs. Like
oh sure. That
makes I was playing World of Warcraft in like 8th or 9th grade, and I played it for like 2 hours, and I realized that the game is going to be me running, getting something, running and getting something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this.
That was actually that was my biggest criticism was first game. Is that like while you did have the open overworld you could go to. And you could get like random encounter missions. Those random encounter missions didn't happen enough.
Yeah.
And there wasn't enough of those. Like there wasn't enough different ones to encounter. So that was my biggest issue. It was like way too rare for the random overworld like side missions to pop up. And when they did, like sometimes like it'd be like I don't know. Like I didn't spend a lot of time in the overworld that much because like I played Destiny like a mobile game where like I would just be like once a day. Like I would like sit down for like 30 minutes and I would like. Buff out a strike and then like maybe play a game or two multiplayer and then go do like my homework or whatever. Like I play like super like rhythmically like you do in a mobile game. But like so like for me like when I was playing it a lot, it's like I'd be in the overworld, like do a mission and then like maybe like a few days go by and I'm in the overworld again and it'd be like the exact same mission and it's like all right, well
that's what I'm saying. I can't do something where I'm. So I liked Destiny. I was like oh I'm going to like. In this big, I think it was also the lack of story kind of killed me a little bit. I think they.
You telling me the Moon Wizard didn't do it for you? Yeah. That they also cut out of the game.
I was gonna say I think there was like this potential for a really cool universe and really cool story that just didn't really happen. From what I'm reading, it seems like Destiny 2 has a campaign, has a bit more of an effort towards the story. But I want to ask your opinion on this whole shader thing. Now, for those who don't know, shaders. All kind of like I guess you played it more than I have. It's like your color, like you kind of mess with your armor a little bit, like let's customize it with like your color wise.
What is? We have to watch this later. I'm gonna bookmark this. So what is? Hold on, wait. We're just gonna put it up on the screen. So remember the dance to your dead Deku meme from My Hero? Did you see that one going around?
I think no.
The one where it's like the dance to your dead song and it's like the gif of him like banging his head as a kid.
I was like, didn't you make that? Or
no, I just showed it to you.
Oh, okay.
I think I showed it to you. Apparently they're playing it at a concert right now. And Funimation just put up the video. So I'm gonna queue up the video live with this and we're gonna enjoy this together with sound now. No, so they're mixing a different song to it, but like it's the same like beat track below it. And it's like the exact video edit.
weird.
What is? Oh, that was weird. And then for context sake, the original video, which I think is infinitely better than what they did with that. Ah, yes, first podcast back. We're not gonna be able to monetize it. This is a song I used for for the golf video.
Yes, yeah, that was in the golf video.
Anyway, My Hero's great. If you're not watching it, well, something's wrong with you. Have you finished? Are you caught up yet? Season 2 is almost done. Are you caught up yet?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We're getting there.
The show is so good. Like, how are you
not saying it's not good.
You would have me watch Clanad before I finished My Hero if I wasn't already up to date.
I mean, Clanad has some real weeb. That's some
anyway,
weeb.
shaders.
So
sorry,
shaders,
that's my bad.
You can update your color scheme, kind of make yourself look all cool. And in Destiny 1, you can kind of collect
I never
them.
actually used shaders. Like, like I understood they existed, but I was just like, it didn't matter to me. But now, I also didn't like invest near as much time in the game as other people. So.
But now, you only get one. So use it from the first one, my understanding. You can reuse them. You can mess around. Like whatever mood you're feeling red, you're feeling blue.
Yeah. So once you owned a shade, it was kind of like a skill. So like once you own the ability to make make your armor, class, and gun red, you could always make it red again. And now it was always an item, but it acted more like a skill. And now it acts like a usable item, where like you've used the paint, and now you don't have the paint.
And it says here you can kind of, in the classic terror word of every gamer, microtransactions.
Hey.
You can buy some lovely shaders with the in-game currency, which is another favorite word of mine. I hate in-game currencies, especially.
Can you buy the shaders? I thought you could only buy the engrams to drop the shaders.
Yeah. So you technically, you can't.
Right.
Buy
So you can't even buy the shader. It would be one thing if you could actually buy the.
You buy the loot boxes, loot boxes.
Right. Yeah. You buy the loot. Yeah.
With the shade, so you buy.
Actually, no. It's actually another separate move. You buy the currency.
You buy the silver.
You use the currency to buy the engrams.
Yes.
You crack the engrams to try to pull the shader.
AKA, screw that.
Right, and that's my thing, right? Like I'm okay with loot and stuff in this, but like this is a purely cosmetic thing that like because it existed in like a multi-use form, it'd be one thing if they said, hey, shaders are one use, you can get them in engrams, but if you want, you can also buy them for like. Because I think in the I might be wrong, but I think in the engrams, unless they differentiated different kinds of engrams again, you also get like parts and you get like low level weapons in these engrams and stuff like that.
I think there are like exotic engrams and like I think
I know there's like different levels, but like
I think you buy one type.
I don't know if there's an engram that only gives cosmetic stuff now or if it's still mixed. So like if it was like you could use the silver to buy the engrams or for shader like because shaders is a very specific visual only thing. It's not armor, it doesn't affect your stats, it's not guns, it's not resources to upgrade your guns and stuff like that. If they were like, okay, so there's microtransactions and you can use that to buy engrams or at a different price you can just buy the specific shader you want and it's still one use, but you don't have to RNG it, then I'd be a little more okay with it. The fact that it's pure RNG and you can't just get the shader you want again is what's pretty annoying because it's such a basic thing for like even MMOs. It's like I want my armor to be this color, and like you can't even get like resources to create. Like shaders is the thing that unless again they changed it, I don't realize it. Is not a thing you can make yourself either. You have to purchase.
You have to find it. You
can't craft a shader. You can craft upgradables to your guns, but you can't craft shader colors.
And that's my thing. I think my issue is if this was Destiny 1 and they set this precedent that shaders are you buy them or you find them, whatever it is. If they set that precedent, Destiny 1, this isn't a big deal. And everyone seems to be agreeing that the issue is you're selling these after the fact. You already gave them to everyone the first time around. So this is it's not like you change something. It's not like you're like, oh, we'll add this new thing called shaders and we'll charge people for it. It's like, hey, let's take away this aspect.
Yeah, it's content that you took away and then you made it like even more like it's so obvious. Like again, like if you gave us the option to just buy the shaders with silver also, like then it'd be like less obvious. It's like that's like standard because like even in Overwatch, it's like
I was just thinking
you can buy loot boxes, but if you save up enough currency, you can buy the skin you want, which is like the perfect way to do it.
Like to me, it'd be like let's say Overwatch 1, like if let's say there was an Overwatch 2, and the first time around, you pick any outfit you wanted, and then in Overwatch 2 they started this whole loot box thing. It'd probably be the same effect.
Yeah, you just can't buy the outfit. Like there's no currency, you just can't.
Yeah,
can't buy
but
anything.
Overwatch 1, like if there is a sequel to Overwatch or anything with it, we already have this expectation. That
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's a big deal. It's an expectation thing, and it's also the matter of like you're taking away options. It's like it's two things, right? It's options and expectations. The expectation is that this should be multi-use. Like microtransactions already exist in Destiny 1, just not to like the purest form like we have now.
Sure, yeah.
So like you took away the ability to multi-use the shader, which thus reduces. I guess you can argue not increases the value of the shader because it's one use, but it actually lessens the value of the set of items overall because they are only single use per shader. And then you also made it so that the way that you're trying to get money from the players doesn't even get them to their end result, like, guarantee. Like, it's one thing if it's like, you can't buy exotic items, because, like, those are things that affect your gameplay. These have literally zero effect on gameplay, but are very important in a game where you're like, make a clan, make a strike group, and you want to, like, coordinate that kind of shit. Like, you know, and you want to have, like, same color to match your flag and all that stuff.
Look, to me, the issue is, and it's going to come down to it, so with single-use items, so even, let's say people wanted to buy these, which people might. I think people want to get them.
Oh, people will buy them. There's a huge boycott right now, apparently, but, like, at some point, people are just going to give in.
To me, the issue is, let's say, I think I'd be okay if they decided to, like, sell shaders in these engrams, and you could buy shaders. But that's fine. I'm okay with that. My issue is, if you want people to buy these, let's say I have an armor set, what's to say, like, and I'm just not going to use my shaders, so if I'm going to get it one time, why would I even use it? What if I don't like that armor set? What if a new one's down the line?
Right, and that's a big thing right now, is that, like I just want to play Destiny, like, your armor, there gets to a point where, like, you get, like, kind of tilted out for a while, where, like, you're kind of on the same set for a while because you're grinding, but, like, during the regular progression, like, you keep upgrading armor so fast, and there's, like, a lot of people being like, yeah, I just have a shit ton of shaders right now because, like, I never know, like, when I'm going to immediately regret using it. Like, it's that fear of regret makes them not use the item at all, and now you made the item essentially worthless because, like, no one wants to use them because they don't feel like they're ever going to sufficiently get their full use. It's like, it's kind of like people who get too emotional when it comes to, like, the stock market things, right? It's like, oh, your stock went up, like, $10, you should sell now. And it's like, well, wait, it could go up another $10, and, like, I don't want to miss out. It's the fear of missing out.
Yeah,
or
I
FOMO.
know. When I played, I can think of countless games, Halo, I think Halo's the big one, even like Call of Duty, kind of, where I might sit down on a Friday, and I'll play, and I'll be, my armor in Halo will be red and black, and like an hour later, I'd be like, oh man, I want to be red and blue, or like an hour later, like that was a part of Halo for me, was literally just changing my armor color, like every other match, or...
Should I keep talking? I'm going to do a thing. Just keep talking.
By doing that, that just made the game a bit more fun for me, it made it a bit more personal. And I personally had a better...
I realized the first way was a total incorrect way.
So this is good now?
I mean, I hope so.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be hopefully better.
But to me, like, that's just a part of a game where I should be able to just...
I'm really tired.
Just have fun. Just sit down and play and not have to worry about, like... Because I might lose interest in the game if I'm not... Like, especially if you can't customize your character the way you want it to look, you might lose interest. Or you're not even going to buy, like, you know... I don't buy Overwatch loot crates, loot boxes, but there are people
once.
But there are people who do purely because they go, like, I could either grind to get this, or I can just buy and see if I get it. But, like, there's that understanding that I don't have to do that to enjoy the game. Whereas now you're kind of like, oh, I had this whole aspect in the first one, but now in the second one I no longer have that. So why am I even going to buy one? Because I may not like this armor, so I'm not going to buy it. It's all these risks just got piled on to the game. I were needed. Why can't they sell something else? They could have made a whole new thing to sell, but by doing this, it's just a whole bunch of drama for no reason.
That's the other thing. Like, you can't even compare Overwatch because at least Blizzard entices you with, like, brand new cosmetic things to buy, whereas shaders have always existed. Like, that's like okay, so
that's
like,
game 101. Just change your color. That's like that's a basic part of gaming.
Like, especially for RPG, like Overwatch gets the MOBA treatment where it's like you don't have armor, you just have skin. So obviously those are the transaction. But, like, I don't know, like, it's such a, like, it feels like an Activision move. Like, considering how much they messed up Call of Duty with the microtransactions, like, it just feels like such an Activision thing, and I feel like it's them and not Bungie.
Well, dude, and that same thing just happened with Shadow of War. They added in microtransactions too into the game that's purely single player, but now has a multiplayer aspect to kind of like the not tower defense.
Also pretty annoying. I don't know the full thing on that, but I remember like reading about it a while ago.
This is my issue is, you know, I don't have this issue with microtransactions. I think the issue comes from if these games are going to charge these microtransactions. I think of Rainbow Six Siege as an example where me and my roommate bought it for $60. And you don't even start out with all of like the characters. You have to unlock all of the characters,
right?
And they take forever to unlock.
Yeah, and like
I paid $60.
And it's not like and it's not like it's a single player game.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh, I'm beating the story and learning the progression and skills, and that's why I'm unlocking them later. This is a purely multiplayer game where if you want to actually, like, I think now if you just buy it now, you can actually just I think you can just pay money to unlock the characters.
Yeah, so
like,
you can.
It's like
they do it like the very kind of like Overwatch, like the coin system, but in this way there is no.
No, but in Overwatch, all the characters you can play.
Well, that's what I meant. But like, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
the way you instead of using those coins to buy a skin for these characters, I'm using this currency to just play. So when you spend $60, you purely get the access to the game as like this recruit character, and then you have to get everyone else. Like,
I feel like that really hurt the game too. Because that game was a really good game. I know a lot of people who returned that game because they're like, I can't even play the characters. So
yeah,
like,
I remember seeing they're playing it.
No.
I was like, this is, and I was like, how do I get? I was like, oh, I must have to.
And a lot of those people were like, oh, if this game was $40, and they said, hey, for the other $20, you unlock all the characters. They probably would have did that. But it's like, this game is $60, and they want more money. What?
I mean, that's why to me Overwatch is the gold standard. Because I remember when you were always telling me about it. And I remember I paid $60, and that was it. I have the game. I have everything I want.
I bought the game twice.
Sure, but you have everything that you need to play it. You have all the characters. You have nothing different than anyone else, except the fact that you gain more skins and other items. If you play more, it incentivizes you to play more because you're getting more loot boxes. You're getting more points. And the only issue I have with Overwatch now is that whenever a friend of mine just buys the game, they have to grind to level 25. And quick play is just pure chaos. Like
right.
that's
I mean, you can do arcade, and so arcade gets you a good amount of XP. Plus, you grind the 3 free loot boxes a week. Sad story. I didn't get the Dad 76 skin from the summer. I'm really sad.
Dude, I don't even have
That's the only skin I wanted. It's the only skin I wanted.
Say my little brother has my Xbox right now because I thought his friend was going to bring his. So I haven't even touched Overwatch or like touched an Xbox. And, like,
I've been on PUBG grind recently, so I've been off for a bit.
Yeah. And even does that game have microtransactions?
They're adding them, and that's a whole nother story.
I was like, that's a whole nother.
But like, it's not even that. But like, people are making us think about it, but it's also purely cosmetics, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I think that's the issue. I don't mind if you want to add cosmetics, if you want to add
like people with Destiny. Here's the difference, right? So people are gonna like now I brought it up here. We're gonna compare it. So with the PUBG thing, it's purely cosmetic items that do not affect your gameplay. And also, you can find the cosmetic items in the game. Granted, you don't get to keep them, but you use them. And it's not like a team thing. Like there's really no reason. Destiny is a game that incentivizes you to roleplay, to create your character, to create your clan, these people around you, and thus coordinating colors of that are important. Whereas like PUBG is a survival game. So the only argument is like, I want all black clothes because I don't want to be seen. Like, if you're really trying to make the same comparison, it's not, because they're two different games.
And to me, I think, this is how I think about video games, and it might be a weird thought, I don't know, but to me, the more I have to think, like, the more I'm thinking about what I'm doing in a game, the less fun I'm having. Mm-hmm. Like, if I have to sit down and go, ooh, like, can I spend this shader? And if I use it now, and I find a better piece of armor, I'll be so upset. And then once I start doing that, I'm no longer having fun. And I'm much more incentivized to spend money on something when I'm having fun with it. Like, think about how we play Magic.
You're almost micromanaging your fun levels.
Exactly. Like, I play Magic. I love Magic purely because when I play the game, I have fun. So therefore, I'm willing to get up after playing and go buy it again. Go spend more on it. Because every time I play it, it's enjoyable. Whereas if I'm playing Destiny 2 and I go, oh man, like that was a lot of work. Like, I have to think about all these items, all these things. I just gotta turn it off. I'm not having fun.
And their argument is going to be like, oh, we'll just don't think about it and play the game. But then it's like, but we didn't have to think about it before, and now you're making us think about it, like Bungie.
And not even that. I gave you. That's my thing. I gave you $60. If these companies are going to insist on adding more transactions, more items, more whatever.
It's just games as a service. That's what it is.
Yeah. Then why can't we just do $30, and then we'll take it from there. We'll take more from there.
Yeah,
keep
there's
going.
gotta be like you have to pick and choose your battles. You can't take away content and keep the price the same. I mean, granted, video games have remained the same price for as long as they ever had when it comes to like the market and the value of like the dollar and stuff like that. But I've got killing the dead horse, but like Overwatch on PC, $40 digital. Like really simple. Here's $40. You get everything. You're not paying the extra $20 for the shipping and all that. If you get the physical version, you get all these free skins and stuff like that. Because like that's how we recomp you for going and buying the physical version, rewarding your distributors. What was the other game I was talking about the other day with people? I was talking about people who like For Honor. They were like really hard For Honor people, and I'm like, wouldn't you have rather just paid like $30 and then like you would probably put like in like another $40 to get all the stuff? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like,
well, that to me is that's I think my issue is I think gaming has reached this point where I think gaming is just more mainstream than it was before. So therefore, since it's so mainstream, there are people like my cousin who, is 12 years old, gets his mom's credit card, and spent like $50 on Rainbow Six Siege.
Right.
And so like for me, like at 21, I go, oh, I'm not going to spend $50 on Siege because I have like that foresight to go. I don't have the funds to do that.
Yeah, and granted, they're like sometimes you get one of those games that you're just like, oh, well, I already logged like so many goddamn hours into it, so like it's like the same. Like at this point, like I'll throw out like $20, but like those games, like for normal gamers, are like those games are like 1 in 100 games you do that for.
So I guess like kind of just to really ask like the kind of the final question about this is, do you think this shader thing is going to have any impact on Destiny 2 at all? Is it going to be something that is actually talked about, actually leads to something changing?
So games, here's the thing that companies are forgetting. When you make a game a service, you're now beholden to the players more.
Okay.
Because if you're pissing them off, they won't spend the money. Because the people getting pissed off are the hardcore fans that usually do spend the money. That's what it ends up coming down to. And so, like, if you're going to piss off the fans because you're trying to make money, you're actually going to end up making less money. Like, this is what it comes down to.
I think that's always been my biggest issue.
Here's a flip on the whole shading thing, right?
Sure.
So currently, their idea of it is like they'll keep spending money because they have to keep re-getting the shader, and they're chasing that shader. But isn't it more likely that if shaders were still like unlimited uses, that you could release different color scheme shaders, and they'd be like, "Ooh, I really want to have that one in my collection now," and they'll either be more likely to then spend money there because they've already gotten the value, like they know that value will persist.
Again, like to me, it is the Magic the Gathering argument where it's like, oh, these people like buying our cards, they like playing this game. How about we release these older cards that they will want because they can't get them?
So that's a little bit of a different.
It's a little bit different.
But I get what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, why don't we, instead of taking away and making them buy it, why don't we give them more? And because I'm much more inclined to buy more things that I like than to be like, okay, I want to buy this, but I really should already have it. But
yeah,
like,
I'm more inclined. It's the same thing. Like I'm more inclined to invest money in something that has already gave me the return I expected and persist.
Yeah.
Than something that like is a single use. Like I'm more likely to spend money on like a video game than I am on a ticket to go to the movies because I will get to keep playing that video game, but I don't get to keep watching that movie. Or like there's times where it's like, oh man, I want food right now. I was like, or if I just eat in today, I can go do this other thing that gives me more value down the road.
I mean, again, I think it goes back to that what we always talk about because it's one of our favorite games. I think what we play is Overwatch, where that I think is the example where you gave someone a good product at a good price, and people are still. It's one of the most played games online right now. That's I don't know why people don't look at that and go, what are they doing that is making people A, play, and B, spend money on it?
So here it's the whole thing. And this is a big problem in like every entertainment industry, like especially like Hollywood. And I remember I forget if it was the director or the writer, someone who worked on Dead. It was either the writer director or Ryan Reynolds in an interview after Deadpool came out was like, don't like after like did so well was like, oh, don't you think this is like really good because now creators are gonna get to like make more like R-rated films and like the studios are going to be able to be like say yes to it more, and they were like no, because what's actually going to happen is the studios aren't going to say, look what happens when you give your team creative freedom and don't put them in a box and they can do whatever they want and look how well it turns out. They're going to look at this movie and say, oh, people want to go see R-rated films. Let's just make this film you're already going to make, but also make it R-rated. Like, that's all, and that's all they did. Like, then you saw, like, Logan be R-rated, and, like, Logan didn't actually need to be R-rated, and, like, all, like, you're seeing a trend, and they take away the wrong message because they're looking at it through that corporate box, and they also don't want to release their control.
No, I agree with that, and I think that's actually the great argument, which is, they don't look at, I think Deadpool is a good example where someone might say, oh, Deadpool was successful because it was gory, violent, and, like, had all this stuff in it, it was rated R. Or you should look at, what you should look at it and go is, there are people who are fans of this IP, of this, EP, whatever, and you allowed people to make it the way they wanted to, with passion, with creativity, and people responded. And that's what I think about with any game that comes out. Like, Destiny 2 could have been, it just came out, but I think Destiny 2 can be this great game if they just sit down and go, what did we tell these people it was going to be? Why don't we just give that to them? Like, I think that's always my biggest thing, is I feel like companies look for ways to cut corners or to
bait and switch.
Yeah, or find some way of making money, whereas my argument always is if you just give me a good game and you just treat me like a customer and you work for my money, I'll give it to you. I don't. It's not like I don't want to give it to you. Like, I want to give you the money because I want this game. I think that's any business. I go to the same haircut place. If I like my haircut, I keep going. They could charge me $50 for one haircut, but I'll never come back if it's bad. Whereas they go, for a $10 haircut, I go, that's the best haircut I've ever gotten. I'll come every week. I'll come every 2 weeks. I'll tell all my friends about this haircut place. And now you're making more than you would have if you just got one $50 haircut off of me.
One of the things I always find funny, and, like, this isn't always the case, because sometimes, like, you look at these things and they can't be done. But there's a lot of times you see trailers, like one of the, like, the opposite example of this is, what's the game EA is working on that looks like Destiny?
Who? Oh, Anthem.
So yeah. Anthem is the opposite of this, where you look at the trailer and you're like, they're never gonna pull this off the way, like, that it looks like it is. Like, it's never gonna work the way that you're promoting it.
Yeah.
But there is a good chunk of games where it's like, you watch the trailer and, like, you as an audience member or as a smart consumer in the video game industry, not like a very casual gamer, is like, oh, well, it's never gonna look or, like, play exactly like this because it's promotional material. But half the time I see those, I'm like, but wait, that's totally doable. And this is what we're responding to, so why don't you just do that? Like, there's so many times where, like, they can make it like the trailer, or they can make it like the gameplay demo, and they don't, and it's just like, but, like, so you know what we want, and you just want to save, like, I don't know, the extra, like, couple, I don't know, let's say, like, in business terms, a small amount of money is, like $7,000.
Yeah.
When if the game, you just made that part of the game, you would have maybe, like, sold more copies. Like, it's always just some of the ridiculous stuff.
Well, I think Star Wars Battlefront's a perfect example of that. The new one, not 2 that's coming out, but the first one, it was, like, missing all of this stuff, and yeah, it sold well.
Oh yeah, it was super over marketed. Like, even I knew it was gonna be more of, like, and I stick by this, that game was, like, not a full game. It was.
Oh, I agree.
What's the phrase I always use and I can't remember?
I don't know. Like a half.
Not a tech demo.
Like a test thing.
Yeah, but there's a phrase for it.
Like a
market. I always use
like they're testing to see if people would buy the game.
Right, but there's a phrase for it, and I always use it, and I can't remember.
Yeah, but, so they were seeing people would actually buy a Battlefront game.
Yeah, it was like a test to see, like, how the market would react. And if the actual, like, gameplay was, like, fulfilling and stuff like that. And now this is the actual real game. Like, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is the actual Battlefront game. The first one was a test run.
Yeah, I saw, like, when they announced it and there was, like, Clone Wars stuff in it. I was like, Battlefront 1 came out a year ago. So you're telling me, like, that you, like, to me, they're like, oh, this is, we've been working on.
Stormtrooper is, like, easy to remodel, though.
What I'm saying is, I felt like when I was watching it, I was like, I feel like you guys have had this in the works for a long time.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like the Clone Wars were already kind of built, and then, like, you're like, let's just see if people buy the first one. And then, like,
well, it was probably DLC originally. Like, all right, let's put this out, and, like, if it doesn't do that well, we're not going to make a second game. We'll just put this out as DLC. And like, if it does, then we'll just use it for the next
I'll admit, I look at Battlefront 2, like,
I'm super excited about Battlefront 2.
Like, I played Battlefront. I remember playing the demo of the first one, like, the beta or whatever. And I was playing, I was like, wow, this is really fun. I was like, I can't wait to see how much they add to it. And there was, like, nothing.
Yeah,
it was like the full thing. I was like, oh, wow. And
it was still fun, but at that point, like, even after the beta, it was like, I've already done this. Like,
yeah, but I was watching Battlefront 2, and I was like, okay, like I don't want to buy this purely because the first one sucked, but like I'm watching, I go, I kind of get excited. Like it does look good, it looks fun. Because here's my thing, I felt like the first one was purely like you're a stormtrooper and you go like just run around and fight. And then I was watching this one and there's like all these battlefield aspects to it, like you can buy a vehicle.
I'm totally cool with that.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, why didn't you just do this the first time? That's all I've ever wanted is just give me Battlefield, but in Star Wars. Like, that's all. That's all it needed to be. Like it doesn't have to be like I don't know. That's what it had. That's what I wanted it to be the first time around. And now they're actually doing it. And I was like, okay, well now I kind of have to buy it because now.
I think the other thing though was like this why for making like a Battlefield one was that like Star Wars is like a more like all ages property where Battlefield like even within the shooter genre, Battlefield is a hardcore a more like compared to Call of Duty. Like
Battlefield one a bit less so, but yeah,
Call of Duty is
definitely
like an arcade shooter.
Yes,
and Battlefield is like more of like a simulator shooter and just like the way the game plays.
Yeah, I can't
so
play
like
Call
the
of Duty.
audience probably skews a lot older. And whereas Star Wars is an audience that skews younger.
Yeah.
So like they tried to make it more of an arcade shooter. I feel like.
Yeah, like I don't think I can even play Call of Duty multiplayer anymore. Like it just doesn't. I was watching
I didn't get to do the World War II beta. I'm really sad because it actually looks interesting.
Yeah. Like I was watching it and I was like, this is just Call of Duty again. Like it's just. I mean, it's people like it. I know that. And
but like Battlefront 2, like we get $60 and we get all that content, right?
Yeah, there's some way they're gonna screw us.
No, we know there's a microtransaction thing, but like the microtransactions are like you can.
Didn't they say DLC was free for Battlefront 2 too? Did they say that?
I think maps are free.
They said something along. I know something's free. Like
yeah, something is free, which is good.
Yes,
like, free stuff is good, but it's like so like you obviously that's a game where they can't like not let you play like the sniper. They can't not let you play, and that's the thing. Like so all the DLC it's gonna be like cosmetic, or there might be like. Maybe there'll be like a few things to like rank up faster to unlock some abilities for the classes, but like that's fine. That's been instilled in Battlefield.
Dude, I think like the challenge to me should be like instead of saying what content can we keep away from people behind a paywall, the challenge should be we've made this great game. Obviously, we want to make money. What is some cool stuff that people want to buy?
What can we do now?
Yeah, like here is the game. It's perfect. Now we have this extra time to make new stuff. Like. Let's ask around. What do people want to get? Like, what would they pay for? Like, I would pay for extra. Like, if there's like some cool new camo for like a clone, like like original clone design that like from George Lucas, like for $2. I'm like, all right, that's pretty sweet. I'll get that. Why not? Like, I'm enjoying this game. I'm playing it all the time.
It's like designing like a 5-course meal, and then instead of saying, all right, now what kind of desserts can we make to sell them afterwards? It's like, all right, now which of these meals can we take away and say we want more money for them?
Like, okay, Battlefield 1 does the same thing for me, where they're like selling all these loot boxes. Like, why should I buy this? There are 3 guns in this game. There are 3 rifles. It says different attachments. I'm like, why am I spending money on this? And like, I think Battlefield Premium is kind of like a good deal. I think it's a good deal
for those players that play that game like we play. Overwatch.
Yeah,
I think that's
like
who that's for.
I remember I got it the first time around. And I was like, okay, this is pretty solid. Like I remember like turning on Battlefield 3 after like not playing it for a year. And I literally had like 200 like boxes sitting there because they give you one a week. I was like, okay, that was maybe a good deal. My roommate has it for the PS4. He has like the premium pass, and he says he loves it.
Yeah, because that's his game. Like, that's like the one game he's gonna dump. Like as soon as he's done playing like the new Call of Duty or the new GTA or Rockstar game, the second he's done with playing through that and playing the content, he's gonna go back to that game.
Agreed. So overall, how do you feel about microtransactions?
As we've discussed multiple times on this show, it's a very finicky mistress. A mistress of it's the kind of girl who like you're like, hey, let's go out for pizza, and she's like, yeah, let's go out for pizza. They go out for pizza and they bring the pizza to the table, and she's like, why did you order me pizza? And you're like, I wanted to get pizza, and you wanted to get pizza. She's like, well, I wanted to get pizza, but I wanted to get like pizza food, not a pizza. And it's like, what are you saying? And she's like, give me your fucking money.
Yeah. She's like, no, give me your wallet. This kid takes out a gun. Give me the wallet.
You don't know what you want. I know what you want. Give me the money.
What? Give me your food. Just give me everything you got. And I think I'm on the I don't like them, like, only because I'm not seeing. My fear is that the more successful microtransactions become, the more incentive you give these companies, because it's not like they don't go like, oh, they're buying our microtransactions. They must really like our content. They probably go, these idiots, like, let's take away more stuff that, like, they have to buy.
GTA is, like, the weirdest thing, too, where, like, GTA is, like, I think what spurred it on, because, like, GTA Online made so much, it continues to make so much money.
Those shark cards, I don't know. The
is
fact that those work
They didn't make story DLC because of just all the shark card money they were making.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we'll just make more, like, but even they're not even that good of a value. Like, they really aren't. Like, you can, I think I did, like, the thing, like, I wanted to get the flying motor, like, I was like, I go back and play that game, like, super casually now, right now, I gotta hop in and just screw around. But I was like, oh, I want to play, like, I want to get this new flying bike. I'm like, oh, how much? The most expensive card, I think, was, like, I could be just throwing out random numbers here, but I think it was, like, $60. And I need 2 of them to buy this fucking bike.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? I was like, this is so far off, and people are still paying money. Like, what's going on?
Well, the other thing is, like, so then, not only are these so now when you have these shark cards, now whenever they make anything, they go, okay, well, we're going to add this new DLC pack, which adds 4, whatever. They're going to go, okay, we have a whole bunch of items we're adding to the game. How do we price them in the game? Now, they might say they realistically should be, like, this is a high tier item. It should be $5 million. And someone goes, oh, but our shark cards. You're right, Steve. They should be $80.
Yeah, like, it's like, here's the thing. We could make it equal to the one shark card. But then if it's like a shark card and a half, then they're going to say they'll either keep playing the game longer to get the other half,
or they'll buy a second one.
They'll borrow 2 shark cards.
And then not only that, then you're and then the next item you have to buy, you only have half a card, so you got to buy another
one. It's like, oh, I already have this half. I guess I'll just buy another one and get that sweet jacket, like the fun.
That's what I'm saying. So like now, so the issue is,
God,
like
fucking damn it.
Like with the Deadpool thing, are you taking away from this? Like, you know, it's like a lemonade stand. It goes back to that. Like, you go, oh, like, they're buying our lemonade? Do they like our lemonade? Or, like, is there some other way of doing it?
Or are we just dumb fucking kids?
Yeah. Or, like, oh, yeah, let's instead of, like, we'll sell them the water, then we'll put the powder over here for 10 cents. We'll sell water. You know, it's like this weird, like, are you trying to find ways to cut corners? Or are you trying to find ways to improve the service that you're
I'm really excited to see what they do with, like, Red Dead. The new Red Dead sequel is going to have online capabilities. Like, I can't wait for them to actually just come out and actually, like, admit to this and figure it out and be like, oh, yes, you may adapted the microtransactions, but we were born in them, raised in them.
I hope it's not the same thing. I liked Red Dead multiplayer. I hope it's not the same.
I hope Red Dead multiplayer is super good. It's spring now, right? Spring?
I don't know. I mean, it's too far away at this point.
I mean, we have a laptop. I'm just going to look it up.
That's not even on my radar yet compared to I only think...
I want to say it's a Q1 2018.
Alright, sweet. It says 2018 at the top.
It says 2018.
That might be all it says.
Yeah. I thought I heard Q1 2018.
Which is a good... I mean, I might be graduating college, so I actually have time to sit down and play games. So,
but, like, no, Q1 2018 would be, like, in the winter part of 2018.
Okay, then maybe
It'd be the first couple of months of 2018.
I don't have no time.
No, it's this spring. So,
maybe.
Latest would be May at that point.
Then maybe.
Graduation present. Get you all the... What's the shark card equivalent for Red Dead?
That might be like $60. So a $60 shark
card.
60.
the bag of schmeckles.
Yes.
You can get the small bag of schmeckles, or you can get what's the ants guy? Ants in my eyes.
Ants in my eyes Johnson.
Yeah. You can get the giant size bag of schmeckles from Ants in your eyes Johnson, but he wants $60 for them schmeckles.
The whole micro. I hate buying. That's like Microsoft.
All right. Let's get off one set of microtransactions to another set of microtransactions.
Take it away.
Yeah, bring this fucking topic. I want to talk about digital card games.
Yes, I love digital card games purely because I play a paper one.
Mostly, and this is why I'm bringing it up, mostly because Magic the Gathering has unveiled their newest iteration of the online card game, Magic Arena.
Is it garbage?
It looks good.
Okay.
Have you not watched it?
No.
The gameplay looks solid. It's actually funny because the people playing the game don't look like they're having fun when they're playing it.
That sounds about right, yeah.
But, like, it actually, like, it looks like Hearthstone, it plays like Hearthstone. That's not what I want to discuss here.
Okay.
But I don't want to discuss that game specifically. What I want to discuss is this giant trend in card games. Because this is something we were both actually, like, card games is a niche thing within the gaming. So I want to talk about this because it's something we can actually, like, speak on. Yeah. As, like me as an expert definitely because I have multiple jobs relating to it, and you as an avid player of the games. And I want to weigh the pros and the cons of this move to digital card games. So... First of all, I want to know exactly what your experience. I want the audience to know what your experience with digital card games are.
Digital card games.
What are some you've played?
I think I played the Duelist Network, which is Yu-Gi-Oh. Like
Dueling Network.
That's
okay,
like the free like.
Yeah, that wasn't even official.
Yeah, that's like the free one. I played that a lot in high school. I played Hearthstone for about like a year and a half, like my first semester of college. That was like the game I like hopped on with my roommate. We played that all the time. And I want to say there's another one. Probably like some cheesy ones I would play, like
Hex.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like there are some weird ones I'll like hop onto. Like I think my roommate plays Gwent. I was watching him play that.
Oh, isn't that the Witcher one, right?
That's the Witcher one.
Yeah,
He was playing Gwent, and he was playing that. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. I don't think I played too many digital ones.
There's a lot, so like you just get.
I think Hearthstone was purely the one that I sat down and played for like a little bit.
And that's basically for me too. Besides like Moto, like it's just like playing Hearthstone. So like some of the pros with it is definitely like, and a lot of people are like, everyone's just cashing on card games and blah 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 blah. So this is the one advantage that card games have, that board games take essential of, is that nowadays like the market is more niche, so there's a lot of money to be made when you make a good one. However, the risk reward for like low tier like card games and games in general, board games, whatever, means like you like the low, like it used to be back in the day because there wasn't video games and board games and card games are the way people entertain themselves a lot. So even if your product didn't do super well, if it's sold on the lower end, there was like still a lot of money in that bubble to take. So even on the low end, you wouldn't like lose a bunch of money. Like you might just break even or a little under even, and you'd be like, all right, cool, go on to the next thing. Nowadays, because it's so much more niche and smaller, that when you put out a bad product, you throw away so much money because there's so much less money in that sphere. Or you can argue that there's more, but it's being absorbed by bigger companies. That you just bottom out. You lose a lot of your life or whatever you used to invest in making that game. So I think the biggest pro is that, and what people don't understand is that with the digital card games, not only is it cheaper to make, but it's also cheaper to like market. It's easier to get in front of a giant crowd.
If you think about like Magic and like Vanguard and all these games, is like not only are you selling this, hopefully people buying this product, like it's not like you can have an idea and go, oh, like will people buy or not? I think with digital card games, there's almost like you design the game and you're like, okay, like our job is done. Whereas when you make a bunch of cards, you go, okay, we're going to make 1 million boxes. And if no one buys them, they just sit there. And that's
right.
And they're like, well, now we can't do anything with them. Whereas when you make a game, you go, like, with Hearthstone, you go, okay, we make the game. And if no one plays it, that sucks. But it's not like not only did you invest, R&D, and like now you printed 1 million boxes, you just have this game that no one's playing, which is like, it sucks.
You're right. It's like they take trips to China to look at the factory that's gonna make it, like, all this stuff.
Or like, God, what if your whole shipment of cards is like off and they're misprinted?
Yeah.
And then you go, well, with greed, now I got to do it all over again. Whereas like if a card is designed wrong, you just go, okay, can someone hop in there and fix that? And then bada bing, then you're off again.
So and this is one thing. So like when you recreate like a board game, it's like super hard because at that point you're almost making a video game. And when you're making a full-fledged video game, that's a lot of like man hours put in. So like board games and stuff like tabletops can't really make that conversion over the video games as well. The ideas can, where like if you want to hire people out, it's probably easier to hire people to make a low-end video game than it is to design and physically build like a tabletop game. I'm just speaking off the top of my head though. I've done the research.
So I don't think like tabletop games, to me, like I would never want to play. It's weird. I know there are some people who probably would disagree, but like I would never want to play a tabletop game over like online. I would never, like, unless I'm talking with people over headset. I would never like turn on my computer or Xbox and be like, oh, I'm gonna log on to like Monopoly and not talk to anyone. I'm just gonna play it purely to play.
And that's what I'm saying. When you translate that experience, it almost like you get into the pitfall of, oh, well, if we're already translating over to making it a digital game, we might as well just change how the game is entirely because we can make it better. We can make it better as a digital product. It changes. Whereas the conversion between the physical card game and the online card game is way less. And not only is it more cost effective, but it can also be a platform to print the actual game. Like like Hearthstone hasn't printed their game, and like most other people don't do this. But I think what people aren't considering is that you could just say, hey, I want to print this game now. It becomes big enough, and that's a good testing platform. I think like what people don't understand is that there's a lot of people in the gaming industry, for people who are designing games and stuff like that. And people are so quick to say, like, oh, everyone's making a card game. Steam's making a card game. Gwent, they're coming out with Gwent for a Witcher. They're making a card game.
I'll say this,
everyone's making a card game. Rick and Morty's making a card game.
I mean, I'll say this though. Even if people are making a lot of card games, which is it is a bit weird thing. Because I remember I grew up playing card games. I felt like I was like a kid, like right in that prime, like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, and all these Pokemon. Things were all like every TV show had one, but now like I feel like I don't know, maybe I know I'm not playing these digital card games, but I don't know how big they are. But my issue is, and I don't know if it's because Magic's been doing it longer and games like Yu-Gi-Oh have been doing it longer, is I feel like every card game I've played hasn't captured. And I think it's this feeling of, and what I compare to Magic. When I play Magic, I think when I'm playing it, I feel like whenever I win or lose, it was on me. It was like, and my enjoyment of the game isn't really based off of winning. I think my enjoyment of the game purely comes from the fact that like I feel like it's hard to play. Like I feel like my dad likes playing golf because golf is hard.
Sure.
And he's good at golf. So therefore, by being good at golf, he is doing something that's already impressive, and it's something that he enjoys. So he's doing two things. He's getting both those feelings. And like when I play Hearthstone to me is dreadfully simple. Like I don't know if I'm playing it wrong or I'm just not at a high tier level of playing it.
Sure.
But like I feel like when I was playing it, I was like, I feel like I'm understanding this game. Whereas I'm playing Magic, it still gets intricate. Like there are points where I'm sitting there doing math, like on my note and paper, like going back and forth and like looking at all this information. And that to me is where the enjoyment comes from. Whereas when I play games like Elder Scrolls on the Elder Scrolls card game or Hearthstone or like maybe even Gwent, like even Gwent's pretty simple.
Elder Scrolls did have a card game. That's right. Yeah.
Even Gwent's a very simple card game. Like I was like watching my.
Well, it's the same one. I haven't played Gwent, but isn't it the same thing from the video game plus?
Yeah, but the video game is just getting like a higher number than your opponent. Whoever has the highest number wins.
Oh, is it actually different gameplay?
I don't know. He was playing it in like the Witcher game, which is like.
I played it in the Witcher game also. That's why I'm asking if it's the same game or if it's different.
It might be. I don't know. I can't speak on that, but I think to me, like I feel like maybe I also believe that trading card games are just something that I want to be physical. Like that's why I don't play sports games. Because to me, why would I play a basketball game on my TV? I'm not gonna just go out and play basketball.
Yeah.
Like that's how I kind of view it. Like the reason I play Battlefield is because I can't go on a battlefield. Because A, I would die definitely, and B, like I just can't walk out and do that. So I go like, oh, I want to be in the fields of World War One. And then really the only place I can do that is on Battlefield. Whereas if I go, I want to play Magic. There's a place I go to the store. I socialize, which I think is a very big part of this.
That's one thing you definitely lose.
Like, I definitely think that is bigger than people think it is. I think that's a much bigger aspect.
Even from a gameplay aspect. Like, I hate playing Moto Online because, like, there's so many things, cues you don't get from just seeing your opponent and how they behave when they're making their plays.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that's, like, such a big part of, like, I love, like, reading about psychology and stuff like that. So, like, when I'm playing, like, competitive Magic, like, and for me, like, same thing weird, like, where, like, I enjoy not only being able to do something that people can't do, but like I'm the next level from you, or not to assume, but I feel like I'm the next level from you, not in skill, but in like where like I have the desire to where my enjoyment also comes from challenging myself to beat people who I think are better than me.
Yeah, exactly.
And not play as casually, play tighter. But like so like you lose those psychosomatic things. Also like I know it isn't like real, but like whenever I'm playing a digital card game, whether it's like Hearthstone or Magic Online, I always feel like it's more RNG based. It's more like number based. Like I just feel like there's more things out of my hands, even though it actually is just as like number and luck based as the card game. More besides from like if your opponent gives you a tell, obviously. But like even though I know this to be fact, like the same chances of drawing the card in the online game is the same as if I was playing physical. I always am like looking at this computer and being like, this is a computer, and this computer is what's fucking me right now.
Well, and here's the thing as well. Like it's my issue is if I were to sit down and play Magic Online on my computer, at any moment I could just get up from that computer, right? I can just get up, and really there's no consequence to that. If I were to get up and walk away from my computer while I was in the game, there's really no consequence. Like, yeah, I'll lose or get kicked out, but in reality, there's nothing stopping me from leaving. You know, there's no like, no one's gonna say, hey, don't leave, or judge or whatever, because you're in your room, you're just sitting there playing it, and like, that's my issue with a lot of online gaming. Is it allows you to troll someone, it allows you to be a real dick.
But that's also that's also one of the benefits. So like the idea that you don't have to commit, like when you go to Magic Event to play F&M, you're committing like 4 hours of your time plus driving.
Sure, yeah.
Like, it's a huge time commitment. They even if you want to play casual games with friends, someone has to go somewhere to one person's house. Like that's a commitment to do.
But I think that's like to me, like that's part of like my endearment towards it. Like I don't play Magic nearly as much as I used to.
And I agree, but for some people, my second point I'm getting on this, some people like if you live in the middle of fucking Minnesota,
true, okay,
like that's like a whole thing to do. Like you don't have people nearby, or like the player base is much less. So I mean, I'm not saying like the point of this topic isn't to say that like they're bad. I just think it's a thing that people don't discuss as in depth. So I want to have an in-depth discussion.
Yeah, I think I think what's interesting is I'm not saying that like Magic is the perfect card game.
Oh, it is. There's no.
Yeah.
If there was a perfect card game, everyone would just play that card.
Yeah, and I think my issue with a lot of like I think with Hearthstone.
Bloody fights.
I think my like with the Hearthstone when I play Hearthstone, it's based off the World of Warcraft universe, right?
Yeah. Oh no, it's all Blizzard
Yeah.
properties. I don't think there's any Overwatch cards yet. It's mostly based on.
Okay. So
that,
like
I think I think there's StarCraft cards. I might be wrong. I know it's primarily World of Warcraft.
like I think that's my issue with Hearthstone and like Elder Scrolls games is I feel like these card games. So I think here's the difference. So when I play so to me Magic is a card game, right? Like that's what it is. It's not like Magic was a TV show first and then it was a card game. It was like, okay, we're building Magic to be a card game. That's what we're going to do. We're going to build it that way. We're going to make sure it works.
And everything builds out from the card game. The story,
so like,
whatever else we make, builds out from the card game.
But to me, Hearthstone, I play Hearthstone, I'm like, I'm just playing these. I'm playing in this universe, but I don't think the game is like these characters weren't designed to be in a card game.
I get that.
They weren't intending to make a card game to begin with, and I think it shows because the incentive in Hearthstone is for me to buy packs. Like that's what they want me to do. They want me to buy packs to play this game. And my issue is with digital is when I go and buy a Magic pack, the cards are in my hand. I own them no matter what. Like I take the pack. I have
biggest
these cards.
problem with Moto.
Yeah, like I have the pack in my hand. I can do whatever I want with the cards. I can tear them up. I can draw on them. I can whatever I want to do. I have collected them. I have they are mine. I have a collection in my room of boxes, and that to me is probably like my mom goes like, why do you like it so much? I'm like, well, like there's something kind of special about watching your pile get bigger, like and watching this kind of.
There's also something special about my end where I watch my pile get smaller as I sell my bulk.
Exactly. Like, I was like, there's an incentive. Like you are making money. You're gathering value. And not only that, like I think you're learning how to organize. You're learning like what's the value of something. Like I think like Magic, like you're bartering. Like you're like, okay, give you this for $1. Oh, I'll trade you with this. Like you're interacting. Like that to me is like what the point of like. That's why I think Magic is so popular. And it's not like even my dad who is not into it, but he's seen me go. It's like it's not about playing the game. You're going to
it's got all the things that comes with it.
Yeah, and that's my issue with card games is like it's kind of like poker. Like to me, poker isn't meant to be played online. It's meant to be played with people. You're looking at each other. You're like I'm gonna outwit this person via bluffing, via whatever I have to do. I'm gonna fold at a certain time. The point of like card games and board games, I think their original design was to get people together, to do something, to socialize, like to be something that brings the person together. Like that's why I like Magic so much is because when I go to a tournament, when I go to FNM, I'm seeing people. It's a group. I'm a part of a culture. Whereas if I'm playing it online, yeah, I'm in an FNM still. I can join a pod. But when a game ends, I don't go like, oh, wow, I really can't talk to you afterwards. We just go, boop, and we're out again. I go, oh, okay, that was pretty fun. Like, that was cool, I guess. And, like, the MTG trader thing. Like, you can rent decks now. You can rent cards. Well, where's the incentive for me to buy them then?
Right.
Like the only reason I'm doing this rental thing is because it's just too hard to get them online. Like, it's annoying because and if your computer just like pops out, then you're gone.
Play the game anymore.
Yeah, then you're done. Like there goes everything you have worked for. And
it's like, or if the game just shuts down, it's like, oh, what about the things I own? It's like, oh, you just own the license to them.
Yeah,
that'd be like if Hasbro went out of business, was at the coast of the shutdown, and they came into my room right now and just took that box right there with all the cards. It's like, oh, these are ours. Like you just had the license to have these cards. And he's like, well, I'm my cards. Like we're gonna recycle this cardboard and then sell it to box manufacturers.
Yeah, like to me, like video games work because from their design. They're meant to be, you're playing it on a screen. That's how they're designed to do it. So it's not like I'm sitting there, I'm playing this video game and go, I'm supposed to be socializing right now. But no, I'm supposed to be playing this game. And that's what you wear a headset and you're playing with people. Like that's why I enjoy playing games like Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, these team-based games because, you put on your headset, you interact with people and there's an incentive to interact and be as a team. That's the point of it. So I feel like if I'm playing MTG online, I go, well, okay, I'm not really. Am I outsmarting this
I
person?
love how you were like MTGO online.
Oh, did I go to the ATM machine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was my mom was all the time. I want to go to the ATM machine. You
Yeah.
want to go to the machine that makes ATMs? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Automated teller machine.
I said something else. I said something like that before. Oh, I think one time I either said I'm going to be AFK keyboard, or I said,
really?
or no, I think I said I was going to be AFK from my keyboard, or I said I wanted to do something IRL in real life. Like I think double said it, and I got hazed by like 5 people. I was
Yeah.
just like, oh.
And I think that's my issue with card games is I feel like they're not meant to be because yes, they're cards. So that's like cards to me just means paper. It means like because like putting a card online is kind of like redundant. You know,
I summon funeral letter.
yeah. Like,
I'm sorry she died.
Yeah, like it's like even emails are like kind of like it's like redundant. It's kind of like well, it's not like it's not really mail. Like
yeah, it's a text. It's a message.
Yeah, you could just call it a message. You could it's kind of like when it's like a digital card game.
I mean, granted, messages didn't come out, and digital messaging didn't come out until after email. So
yeah, so that's what I mean. It's like email is like it's playing off of the original form of mail, which is something you got as paper. Whereas when I'm playing these card games, I go, well, why is it a card game? It could be anything. Like the fact that this by calling it a card game to me, it goes, this is supposed to be paper, but you're playing it online. Like if
even though like you get it, like mentally your brain is doing gymnastics for some reason.
And like I think like by putting it online too, I think it lessens the incentive for you to make it good. Like Hearthstone is fun to play.
Okay, so this is one of the opposite opinions I have here. Is that when you have games like Hearthstone now, where when you realize you broke a card, you don't have to. I mean, some people can argue this is good or bad. I think in a game like Hearthstone where it's only digital, you can never do some magic where like they actually just errata the cards like digitally.
Yeah, you just change
like
them.
Yu-Gi-Oh does this, and they have to reprint everything. That's the whole hassle, which is why sometimes they just ban a card or like it's like it's so much easier just to say you can't play this card than to actually fix our mistakes. But like a game like Hearthstone where you don't have to adhere to the printed side of the game, you can just be like, oh, this is a problem. We can fix it. You can still own the card. The card is still gonna work. It's still gonna be legal. We're just gonna fix this because it's ruining everyone's gameplay, and we want the game to be enjoyable. I think it's one of the plus sides.
That is a plus, but I think part of what makes Magic so fun, I think, is when stuff like that happens. It's when
I don't know. I played back-to-back Marvel formats, and I was just like not about that.
I mean, it does depend on how the company handles what goes wrong.
And I won a lot of money during Marvel format.
But I think I just think like that part of like why I love Magic is if a broken card is printed, if and I like watching people. And I think it's like watching, like when you watch the Magic Pro Tour. To me that's exciting to watch because I'm watching these two people like go at it from across. Like, I'm watching the cards, they're flicking. I can like look at their face thinking.
Yeah, and they're watching each other.
Yeah, and when I'm watching Hearthstone, like there's
the face cams in Hearthstone are always just so redundant to me because they're just always so stale.
Like it's very like anticlimactic. There's just two people sitting in a chair like on a computer screen, and it's kind of like anticlimactic. Like I'm kind of like, well, I mean they could be across the planet. Why do they have to be in the same room? Like they could be anywhere doing this.
They're in the same room and they're not even looking at each other.
Yeah. Like, aren't they like next to each other playing?
They're like, I mean, I only watched like a few, but like they're really directly, like they're across, and then like it like bubbles up with the screen. I don't even know. I don't even remember.
That's the thing. Like, to me, like the reason that card games are fun to watch is because you're flicking, you're looking. Like, cause I mean, I look at my opponent when I play Magic. I look at them. I kind of like what cards he looking at? He's looking at one card more than the other. Does he react to what I say and what I do? And that's the fun. And I like. I like when I win to look at my opponent and be like, haha, like I win. You get that feeling of, you get a handshake afterwards. Like you have bested someone. You've beaten someone at something. Whereas, in Magic Online, it might just say you win. And it goes, boop, you're out. And you're kind of like, okay, wait. That was cool, but like.
Are you saying you're a gloater? Is that what you're saying?
Not a gloater, but when I get beaten a lot, I lose a lot of Magic. And I'm sure the person who beat me is very satisfied to
watch you grimace.
Yes, yes, I think that's part of it. Like I don't mind that. 'Cause I love when I beat someone.
Let me take a picture for the Instagrams for my followers to drink your tears.
Like that it sucks to lose, but like what makes it more fun is you see the person you beat, you look at him like, yay, I beat you, and like you don't say that, but you're all there to have fun.
So this is what actually is. This is all right, so you're my opponent, right?
Yes,
I just beat you. Yeah. So in IRL it's like good games.
Good game.
Internally it's like
fuck you. you lucky piece of shit. Like,
well, I beat you. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, and that to me, and that goes for video games in general. Like that's I like when Overwatch shows the play of the game. I think that's a great part of it.
Right.
Because I get really pissed off when I'm the one getting killed in the play of the game, But I think that's how games kind of.
And then you have the moment in the team chat where everyone's like GG, and then you have the one guy being like, "This guy fucking threw fucking Hanzo, man. Yeah. Yo, man, Hanzo's great. Get the fuck out of here. You guys threw. You had 0 kills. Not my fault. Not my fault, guys.
Hanzo is garbage. That's enough. That's enough of that. Hanzo is the worst. But again, like when you finish a game of Overwatch, there's the like I call them accolades. I don't know if that's the correct word, but like
sure. I don't know what you would call them.
Like
so sure.
Like you get to pick like it's like Boom XN, that's my account. It's like pops up 10,000 damage. Vote for that one. Like I think that to me is them trying to bring back that now the game has ended. Let's give you that moment of let's reflect on what you did. Like look how well you did. Like,
I forget if this is the correct game or not. I don't think it's Chinese checkers. I believe it's shogi. Okay. And in professional shogi, they're gonna fucking comments to kill me if I'm wrong. I believe in professional shogi games, if not all shogi games, after the game is done, you go back through the game with your opponent. I think you rewind to a point and you start discussing plays. I think it's something you have to do. I may be incorrect, but I feel like I saw or read this somewhere before. Okay. They're like they rewind and you discuss it like civilly. It's like, oh, I think this is where the game changed. Like, is when you made this play. Like, what were you thinking? And like, because it's supposed to be a gentlemanly thing where you are trying to best each other, but also better each other.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like chess. That's like any other game where I think your intelligence is being used rather than your physical attributes. When you're using this mental game, I like that's why I kind of really enjoy Magic. It's this mental game where I think it's one thing like if I work out more than you, I will beat you in a race. It's not like you're gonna have like some sneaky way of beating me.
Sure.
Like if me and you
and then there's also like you have like for example in front of us, you have a very thin skeletal body. I have a very bulky body. Like that's my bone structure, and thus you are more suited to meet me in a race. You have longer legs. I have shorter legs. It has nothing to do with like we could both train the same amount, and you would still be statistically more likely to win. Yeah. So like to me, like with like sports, like with baseball and football and stuff like that, there is this. I'm going to train, and I could be like, but to me, like if when I watch a baseball game, to me it's never like okay, this person like out-thought this person like or saw an opening. There's times, but
like to me in Magic, I'm sitting there, I go like, okay, can I trick this person? Can I outsmart this person? Can I?
There was a bunch that. I was watching Japanese Nationals today. Yeah, there was a bunch of really good plays.
I'm saying like there is it's like a battle of which I think I think war history is very fascinating because like it comes down to like man versus man physically attacking each other, but at that same time there is this okay. They have a bigger army. How can we make this work? What do we have to do? Can we outflank them?
Where is the line to victory?
Yeah. What do we have to do to win? So when you're playing Magic, like to me, I'm like, oh, my deck is worse than this person, but I still have to play this game. I still have to figure out a way of doing it, and that to me is why I think these games are best in person rather than online. Because I think when you're online, especially with Hearthstone, I feel like Hearthstone is a bit more like. If I have better cards than you, I'm gonna beat you. I feel like that's the vibe I get from Hearthstone.
I can't give it. I'm sure it's not just like that. Maybe that's just your experience.
Yeah,
I mean, you're also just playing casually, right? So you're not playing like the best cards.
No.
So so then when you run into someone who's playing not casually because it just randomly cues you, then obviously it feels that way to you.
I think that too. I think that too. I think Hearthstone. I think with digital.
Because you play competitive Magic and you don't feel that in Magic, but you're also playing with a real deck all the time.
I would say I think with the only issue with digital, as well is I think what's nice with paper is me and you can sit down and go, let's play Magic, but we're gonna play with no lands. You can't do that. We're just gonna play with just the cards.
Oh yeah. You can reinvent the game. Like Commander came into existence because it was a reinvent. It was a reinvention of how to play.
Exactly. So like even with Hearthstone, Hearthstone can offer custom lobbies, but even if they offer you the most custom of custom lobbies,
which they don't,
even if they did, it's still. You still can only do
you're in a box
what they let you do. So if
it's not even that, it's just what the program does.
Sure. Whereas if we're sitting down, we just go, ooh, let's play. We're gonna play Magic, but we all have one card each. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's try it. And like, or let's play all 10 of us at once. Oh yeah, let's do that. And like that to me is the benefit of board games, card games, like in the physical copies, is once I have it in my hand, I just go, oh well, we can just do whatever we want. Like, what do you want to do with it? We can play 4 players, but it's just me and you playing. Or that to me is why they're so beneficial in person, is because I think it kind of brings me back to the idea of I have bought this and now I own it. Like these cards are mine. I can tear them up. I can do whatever, and like, or I could give them to you. I'd be like, here, take my. I bought this really expensive card. You can have it, Mike. Like, it's all yours. Whereas in Hearthstone, it's a bit like, I have these cards. Can I give them to someone? Like, how do I get, like, there's almost like this, because I think I don't think.
You can't trade in the game.
Like, Blizzard doesn't want me to buy a bunch of booster packs. I go, oh, hi, Mike, you take them. Hey, I'm a Robin.
They want me to buy it.
Yeah, they want you to buy it. Whereas if I went to the Magic store, I bought every single booster pack. I just gave them out to everyone. Like, they really can't stop me from doing that. And so I think that's like the benefit to me. The physical kind of gives it that. It makes it mine. It makes it. We can mess around with it. We can build a culture. That's why I think these digital card games aren't as popular, is because I can't build around it. I can't. Is there a Hearthstone store that I can go to and like meet people who also play Hearthstone? No, I go onto a Facebook group, or I go online. And people are like, yeah, like I know these people, but like, I'm not really making these connections as much as I would. Like I think, remember my first FNM, I was like so scared, and like I don't know the rules, and like there's a referee, and a judge. There's a judge, and there are people who like love playing, and like they're all talking, we're all socializing, and then like I left. I was like, I'm gonna go back and see these same people again.
When someone misplayed against you for the first time, did you raise your hand and be like, foul?
Oh no,
foul?
I remember I went to my first like GP. I was like by accident. And they gave me like a deck list to fill out, and I filled it out, and I gave it to the guy, and he goes, he's like, excuse me, you have to put the quantity of like the card that is in your deck. I was like, they're all just one of each. It was like 60 like singles of like, and he was just like, oh, and like this guy took it like very like shook his head and like walked away as I got like mopped. And like I think I was playing a standard deck in a modern like GP. Like I had no idea. And that to me is like, that's like the fun. Like I could never accidentally enter like the Major League Hearthstone tournament by accident. And that I think is why I like the physical. I think to me TCGs are physical. I would never want to play a digital one. Like, I don't feel like I own anything. I don't feel like I have it's like a binder. Like I love looking through my binder and be like, I remember I got that card from like this spot. Like I have cards in my binder where they have memories to me, like they mean something. Like that to me is what a collection is. Like I don't have a collection of socks; they're just socks. I might like some people might have a collection of socks. Like some people might like to me like you don't collect things that are random. Like you don't like you collect things that have some type of value. People collect lunch boxes. People collect
Pez,
Beanie
Babies.
I think the reason you collect them,
expensive college textbooks.
Yeah, but I think to me the importance of collecting is like I have it. Like this is mine. Like I have collected this. Like you no longer can have it because I have the only copy of it. I have the Bart Simpson Pez thing. Like you don't have that. I have it. And like that to me is the difference. Whereas it goes like, I have this digital card, and like Blizzard goes, okay, we'll make 10 more. And I go, well, okay, screw you, Blizzard. Like now I don't own anything. Or Blizzard could just go, we're gonna shut down Hearthstone. Boop, and like bada bing, there you go, it's all gone. And like even like what if Magic? What if the Wizards of the Coast just disappeared tomorrow? You still have your Magic cards, and that's the difference. Is even if the overseers of this game, the creators of this game were to disappear tomorrow, you still have your collection. That to me is really important. I think that to me is an important aspect that these digital games are missing, is what the meaning of collection is. Like that's one of the big tangent there. But that to me is like how I feel about it.
Cool. Well, I think it's a good place to leave it off today.
Sweet. We went through a whole lot today.
Yeah,
like,
good first session.
I agree. I like it. Now we're getting back into it. So now I'm kind of like, I'm really excited to get back into this again. So, but if you want to find us on Facebook. That's the first one, right? Right? Oh no, Twitter. No, I got it wrong again. It's always the Twitter. The Twitter. I barely tweet. That's why. So you can find me on Twitter at the Red Baron,
And I'm at the Mighty Mike.
and you can find us on YouTube. That's where this video is. So you're already here. So you can subscribe and watch some more videos if you want. Is that it? I don't know what else we got. I'm Jack Barron.
No, there's another Twitter.
Yes, you can. Is it your network team?
It's at Your E Network.
Your E Network.
Well, if you want Twitter upload notifications, you got that. You wanna, if we're doing random stuff, we'll live stream on there or whatever. What else we got, Jack? Come on, you got this.
I said.
The thing I fired Liberto for.
Oh yes, you can follow us on our Facebook page, which is at Your Entertainment Network Team, right?
Yeah.
Which I feel like the team is always what I forget. The team
Yeah,
part.
there was just, I tried every permeation. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Team? He's like, sure.
Yeah, so we post some of our videos, like the previews of like fun stuff like that.
Cool
on
articles
there.
are fine, all that good stuff.
I was like, we should start writing articles on there. Write some fun stuff.
Man, there's just like,
It's
I'd
just
love
stuff.
to, but it's like there's just no time.
Yeah.
Like this already takes enough. Like,
Yeah, I
if
agree.
you want to do it, I won't stop you. But
Yeah, but we're gonna start posting some stuff on there. We're really trying to build that up, which I think is a good spot than it was before last year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you can go on there, give it a like, give it a share.
looking forward to a new semester.
Absolutely, we're happy to be back.
And I'm Mike Knowles.
I'm Jack Barron.
Time to power down. Oh, all right.
Sword with Swass.
I'm gonna play that fundraising live stream until I'm done setting all this shit up.
Who's doing a fundraising live stream?
It's already recorded. H3 podcast did one with Justin Roiland, the guy who made Rick and Morty, or one of the guys that makes Rick and Morty, who voices Rick and Morty.